Hello, video's working. Hi everyone, it's Louise Plant here. Haven't been around for a while on social media, but I am today because we are on lockdown with coronavirus, and you know me, I've got lots of opinions and lots of things to say. So my topic today is really about the fact that the reset has been pressed. Like, this is the reset, and I might as well get this out and over and done with in the very beginning. I believe this is a man-made creation. If not purposely released, then it's been created through our actions over the last couple of 100 years or maybe longer. And really just to be mindful that, you know, while this craziness is happening on the planet, you know, as above, so below. So, you know, there's also stuff happening energetically. And, you know, the belief that I have is that we are spiritual beings. We are so much more than what we realize. We get very lost in this contained human experience when the reality is that we are, you know, magnificent, sovereign spiritual beings. And I think the thing that's really sparred me to do this talk is the fact that people believe this, and you know, people are dying, and I'm not discrediting that. And I'm totally acknowledging that, you know, there is sickness in the world. And to be honest, a part of me has been waiting for this, or not waiting, but has been preparing for this for a lot of my life. It's been part of an innate, intuitive drive in me to actually go off the grid and be off the grid again. I lived off the grid for 18 years with the kids, and yeah, my ex-husband, and my urgency to do that. I'm just in the perfect place. Like, I have food, I have, you know, I have animals, I have, you know, food, I have self-sufficiency. I'm just in the perfect space, and my need to do that has been, there's been a calling for me to do that. So I am a person who's very connected to my intuition, and I trust my intuition, and my intuition is telling me that this is a bit of a dramatic thing that's really happening. And the fact that, you know, to my message really for everybody who listens to this is really just to try and step away from the panic and the fear, and to actually just really ground yourself and connect yourself. People are going to die. There are going to be losses. There have been plans that have been put in place to reduce the population of the planet. You know, we've been misled and misinformed so many things for so long. And how do I know? What proof have you got? I don't, you know, I listen to things, I hear things, but most of this is my gut feeling. So this is my gut feeling, that where I'm coming from here. You know, so this experience for us is really a one-way street. There's no going back. It's a bit like having a baby. You know, once you've had a baby, you're not going back. And part of this experience, you know, there's good and bad. Yeah, bad that people are leaving the planet, though this is the time. And if you've listened to some of my videos previously, I would have said to you, this is the time where more people are going to leave the planet than any other time. And it's still going to keep going. I seriously believe with all my heart that this is the first of many things that are going to come, and to be prepared for that. And I have been preparing myself for that, and I'm in such a good space where I am, you know, in my preparations and in trusting my gut feeling for that. So this is a one-way street, you know, and things will change. Hence why this topic, I'm calling it, you know, we're pressing the reset button, because it is pressing a reset. And part of this is really about, you know, what is important, what is valuable to us. We're suddenly being mindful about, you know, we're connecting to our family and our friends. Are you okay? Is everything all right? And to me, that is a fabulous thing, because the thing that's really going to get us out of the space that we're in, it's, you know, it's a bit like Star Wars, with the dark and the light forces battling. And that is exactly what I feel is going on. You know, we have really lived in this masculine dominated, you know, space for thousands of years, you know, and it's time for this feminine, for this healing, for this nurturing, for this love to actually start to come in and change this. And it is a battle, as I said, so below and as above, so below. So energetically, there's all this sort of stuff going on, which is really great. But it's going to be uncomfortable for us. And I have said in other videos as well, you know, probably the next 20, even 25 years, things could be getting a lot worse than this. So, you know, what is important? What things do you need? What is valuable to you? You know, what items do you need? What material possessions? Like, all this stuff is just going to mean nothing You know, when we're losing family members, you know, does it matter having that nice, shiny, bling, bling Mustang? Though I'm still open to having a Mustang. If someone wants to give me one, that's fine. You know, people are dying. So our values are changing. You know, what is important is changing. Suddenly, you know, these primary needs, and these are things that I work with people. You know, I've talked about self-actualization. You know, it's going to help people become more self-actualized because, you know, fair enough, we need food, we need shelter, we need clothing, you know, all these basic necessities we need. And one of the basic necessities is actually self-actualization, of feeling happy and complete within yourself and connected to the planet, you know, caring about your environment, caring about the community. All this stuff is real self-actualization stuff. So what is the negative about what's happening now is the whole lockdown thing. It's taking away fun, like, and choice. And that's the thing that I'm angry about, because really I believe we can have the choice to choose to be exposed to this. So I'm going to put a bit of perspective around this. So here in Australia, we've had 3,656 cases. We've had 14 deaths. And the average for every million people affected, they reckon that 221 or something are going to be, you know, will actually contract the disease. So it's not actually a serious thing. And viruses, it is a virus. So how many of you have had a warts as a kid? How many of you have cold sores? How many of you have experienced herpes? It's my dog here. She's sitting and joining in, giving her pat. You know, we have herpes, we have warts. You know, I had warts when I was a kid. So I'm still carrying that virus. That virus is still in me. I'm alive, I'm functioning, I'm happy, and I'm healthy, and everything's okay. But yet I'm still carrying that virus within me. So please, like, part of this message, just get some perspective, you know, really ground yourself and just try and stop the panic, because people are being aggressive, they're being violent. You know, there's a lot of drama that's coming out of this, and part of this transition that we're having is to get away from this sort of drama queen narcissistic way of living that we have been living, and to get really back to basics and to what's really important. So yeah, the fun has been taken away. Now fun to me is freedom, it's being uninhibited, and it's allowing things to be natural. So we're really losing all that sort of stuff, you know, we're not having fun, we're not allowed to get together in groups. And that's the bit that makes me angry, because we really ideally could have a choice whether we choose to lock ourselves away, because shutting ourselves away isn't going to stop anything. The only thing it's doing is slowing down the progression of people contracting the virus. And the reason they want to slow it down is because our medical systems can't cope with it. So otherwise people are just going to be lined up all over the place. Having said that, the other thing that I really want to talk about now is something that I am so strongly about, is the fact that we are pleomorphic beings. So I believe our whole medical system is based on the germ theory. And the germ theory basically as a whole stemmed from Louis Pasteur, which is what, 1918? I could be wrong there. Don't quote me on exact dates. I'm just saying roughly. But anyway, our whole medical system has been based on this one germ, one disease theory, and it's bullshit. It's friggin' crap bullshit, okay? We are different people. We live in different environments. We have different situations, different seasons. We have different, you know, temperatures, cultures, beliefs, values. You know, it's not one germ, one disease, okay? We've got to get past all this bullshit. Not one germ, one disease, okay? Being pleomorphic means that our body has the ability to change. You can go on YouTube, look up pleomorphism or pleomorphic cells. So what that means is that our bodies have the ability to change a virus to a fungus to a bacteria. Our body has the ability to change this thing. So the worst thing that you can actually be doing is to be living in fear. Like, having this friggin' fear about this is really going to escalate things a lot worse. Okay, because that's added burden, that's added stress. So there's an analogy that I use and I came across when studying Nature Cure, which is a belief system that I fully am following, and it really resonates with me, from the 1950s. So Nature Cure is really about the fact that we are vital beings, okay? And we get sick when our vitality drops. So the analogy I use is a roulette wheel. If you don't know what a roulette wheel is, just get on Gumtree or Google and just have a look, or YouTube. So, you get the roulette wheel, you spin the ball, and then you spin the wheel, Ball goes one way and the wheel goes the other. So, we are the ball. We're going around, and then the roulette wheel's like life. All this stuff, the world that goes on, that's spinning in the opposite direction, So, as long as we've got that vitality and that speed, okay, we just keep moving. We keep moving. But when we lose the speed and we lose our vitality, okay, the ball drops. And that's when it gets lost into the whole crap system. And to be honest, I've moved to northern New South Wales. I'm actually really surprised with the amount of alternative lifestyle people here who are just buying into the whole thing as well. Like, these are towns which are alternative, and people won't even let you in the shop. We're all going to get exposed. We can't stop that. All the isolation is doing is just slowing down that. But it's going to happen, and the sooner you get on with it and move on, the better. We're going to contract a virus. We never get the same virus twice. We don't get the same cold twice. So, what's going to come from this, and I can tell you now, I feel this so deep in my bones, that if we start doing mass human vaccinations, okay, there's going to be more worse ones coming. Because we're tampering with nature. We're fiddling with things. And as I said in the very beginning, I was upfront with this. I believe this is man-made. As I said, someone's released it purposely. And there is documented evidence now about the SARS virus, the bird flu being man-made and being purposely released. And I'm dying to get those documents in my hot little hands. I've ordered them and they're on their way. So even if man hasn't purposely released it and we've created it through our own default way that we live, mass vaccination to a virus that's already been and gone and that we can never catch again is only going to weaken our systems more. So back to that roulette wheel. That wheel is spinning. Okay, we start injecting ourselves with viruses that are farmed, because I'm not opposed to the vaccination principle. I'm opposed to what they do and how they do it. So, pre-inoculating yourself to do something to help build immune system works great, for sure. But injecting yourself with high amounts of mercury or aluminium, and then, diseases that are grown in animals or in, fetal embryos or however they're grown, is to me totally unnatural. It's not the way to be doing that sort of stuff. And if we do that, this is just the first. Okay, there will be more, and they will just keep getting more and more serious until you wake up. So part of my message for you is just ground yourself, like connect yourself to your intuition, like really connect into your intuition. This whole thing is making money dirty. Okay, there is a push to get away from us having cash, because when we tap on with our cards, we're tracked with everything that we do, Cash can't be tracked. But there are other ways, We have blockchain technologies, we have cryptos, like bloody, I've done a IGTV video about this, so check that out. Cryptos, this is something that can't be controlled. We don't know in the future that, we can't go out. We can't be in more than 5 people in a group. What if they suddenly start saying to you, okay, well, you can't take that money out of your bank. You can't spend that money out of your bank. How is that going to affect you then? We are being very compliant to a lot of this, when really what needs to happen is we need to come together as a community. Okay, what have I missed? So much to say. So yeah, get away from the fear, get away from the panic, just ground yourself, Look out for what is important to you, which is family and friends and community. Don't think if someone touches you, they're going to infect you, okay? It's like a cold, you can have 20 kids in a classroom. As I said, out of every 1 million people, there's only going to be something like 220 that are going to be infected here. The countries where it seems to be worse is cold. But again, chemical warfare is chemical warfare. It's a way to to reduce numbers, control the masses, and everyone's just so controlled now. Like, everyone's so brainwashed by this. So I do live in the bush. I don't watch the news. I only hear what's happening by me choosing to go onto the internet and checking what's happening, which is what I've just done now. That's where I've got the statistics for what's happening here. And other people tell me that, because I, you know, when you listen to the news, there's half an hour of coronavirus, fear, 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 fear. And I've done video after video for the last 30 years saying the best thing to do with your TV is to put your foot in it. You know, I raised my kids off the grid, no TV, no, they're all open, connective, intuitively creative, you know, alive, healthy beings. Okay, I must be doing something pretty good. Okay, so human roulette wheel, remember that, okay? Keep your vitality up. Don't do things that stress you out. Pip, come here. Don't do things that stress you out, you know? Eat well, eat well. You know, I've made some immune boosts for people. Do things to boost your immune system. I've got courses that, you know, you can go and check those out. But, you know, boosting immune system is really basically eat all your colours. I'm going to do a little free PDF up within the next 2 or 3 days. So, you know, contact me if you want me to send that to you. You know, use herbs, use things that are going to help you. The issue with people dying with this virus isn't the virus. It's the fact that the mucus, so much mucus is formed in the respiratory system that it basically closes up. And there are herbs to help with that. And one of the best ones is thyme. Thyme, go thyme, you know, it's an anti-bronchial, anti-catarrhal, you know, and you can get it in any supermarket. Just make a cup of tea out of it, you know. Take things to boost your immune system. Echinacea, I did a podcast on it. So if you go to Spotify, Louise Plant, Wellness Independence is the podcast, and it's called Don't Panic, It's Only a Virus. So I've done a whole 15-14 minute stuff there on practical things that you can do to boost your immune system. So go and check that out. So let me wrap up. Please do not feel helpless. Okay, you are not helpless. Be positive. Look for fun things to do. Remember that stress is going to deplete immune system. You've got to keep that ball rolling. Keep that ball rolling. It's really important. Come together as a community. That's hugely, hugely important. And don't believe everything that you hear, you know. How effective is this test? I mean, I've read this morning it's only 80% effective for testing. You know that there were doctors in America who were telling people they had cancer so that they could earn money from treating them, you know. And then people went and had extra, they went to other doctors to check. And that's how they found out about these doctors. There was about 5 of them that were out there purely wanting to make money. So, you know, question everything, please. Trust your intuition, trust your gut feeling with it. If you feel that it's going to be healthier and happy for your family to hide, then do that, you know. If you feel, you know, whatever you need to do to feel safe, that's okay. Don't believe everything here. Stop listening to the news, okay? Just get on with life. Just get on with life, make the best, and start to really rethink about what is important. So, yeah, that's probably enough. And be mindful that, you know, this is taking away our fun. This could well take away our money system. Could well take away our freedom. You know, this could well change a lot of things. And what the world is lacking before this is connection. That to me is one of my core things that I'm about, is that we are lacking connection. We are so disconnected from the planet. We're so disconnected from ourselves. We're so wrapped up in everything, the material, the whole kerfuffle and the drama and the story, that we've just lost connection with ourselves. So, you know, when I work with people and bring them back to themselves, suddenly it's very different what's important. Okay, I'm running out of time. Yeah, so, yeah, we're not necessarily being told everything. You don't realise that there's only 3 or 4 families that actually control the whole news for the world, you know. Like, there's only certain companies and families that are choosing to tell us what we need to know. So, you know, as I said, out of 3,000, nearly 700 cases, as I've been, only 14 deaths in Australia. Everything's fine. Everything's going to be fine. Connect in. Let go of fear. Okay? But be prepared, because I will say this on camera, that there's more. There's more coming if we keep being brainwashed like this. All right, you have a fabulous day. I will connect with you later. I'm seeing you always in happiness and love and in health, as I always have done. They've always been my words: happiness, love, and health. You take care. Blessed be. See you. Bye. Say bye, Pepper. Bye. Bye.